Well, greetings viewers and voyeurs, you're with Got That Funk, and there are other videos that I've been meaning to put together and get on with. But different things keep on coming up, which keep on distracting me and putting those other things off. Anyway, one of my favorite YouTubers, Derek359, posted a very excellent video called November 11th. Obviously being today is Armistice Day. And just some of his reflections, and one of the questions he asked, and he invited video responses, was, is there anything that you would be prepared to kill or die for? And I'm going to take this question on, Derek, and quite happily say, yes, there is. But it's not what you might think. I like to think, or I hope anyway, that I'm a fairly principled person. And it's my genuine belief that I wouldn't harm anybody intentionally. Having said that, it's also my genuine belief that human beings, all of us, are capable of anything and everything. In other words, there's nothing that the worst among us can do that I am not also capable of doing. And by extension, there's nothing so gracious that the best among us could ever do, which is beyond my ability to accomplish either. So with that in mind, I would say yes, there are definitely things that I would be prepared to kill for or die for. I would love to be able to, with a straight face, look at this little red camera that I'm looking at and say, oh, I would die for my principles quite happily. Those principles being, freedom, liberty, justice, and equality. But in practice, I can't imagine how I would throw myself onto the lance of an oncoming soldier. So, it really does come down to the actual circumstances, and I think this is where my video is going into exactly. When I say that anyone is capable of murder, it comes down to the circumstances. For example, I don't think I could kill anyone in cold blood, on one hand. On the other hand, when I was married, had I walked in and found someone raping my wife or my daughter, I probably would have killed them on the spot and then thought of it afterwards. That's just a reflex reaction to circumstances that are so outside of one's normal experience. Red takes over and thinking comes later. Those are just some examples. I don't think there's any such thing as a truly virtuous person who would never commit any acts of violence or theft if the circumstances seem to require it. For example, if someone's starving, is it really immoral of them to steal an apple off a fruit cart? I don't think it is. And I think, if you're starving, it's understandable if you steal something to eat. I'm not saying it's right, I'm saying it's understandable. In the same way that I'm not saying it's right to murder someone if you find them raping your daughter, but it's understandable. Anyway, so those are the kind of things that I would say. I am not going to sit here and wax self-righteous and go on about how my ideals and principles are so important to me that I would kill for them, or so important to me that I wouldn't. Because I would like to live my entire life without ever raising my hand in violence at another human being. So far, so good. But there's hopefully quite a few years left ahead of me, and one never knows how the world will turn. Anyway, I hope that's a good enough answer for you, Derek. I'm sure coming from me, it's probably not the one you expected. Anyway, this has Got That Funk. Thanks for asking such a cool question. I'm looking forward to seeing the other responses as well. In the meantime, everybody, may all your ups and downs be ups.